franchise that is the crux of why we are fans. The rich, amazing history of a team that reflects the attitude of this town's people and embodies the spirit of everyone sitting in these seats. But when we step back and look, there is one thing that from Philadelphia to Wilmington, from Haverford to Pennsauken, from Westchester to Allentown, cuts through it all and bonds us, every one of us. Every fall, it is the Eagles green that runs through the veins of the young and old, and the divides that exist between races and creeds, rich and poor, the 700 level and the lower bowl are all gone, and we are suddenly one.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of Fandemonium here on the AAT Sports Network. I am Chip at Chip for the Birds, and we are joined today by our fourth guest. This is Real Prince Blue. You probably know him as one of the best trolling individuals on Twitter, and I respect and appreciate him for that. He is also the host of Real Time with Real Prince Blue. Frankly, Philadelphia, he does the Black and Blue live show. I mean, this guy does a little bit of everything, and some of his best work is talking to personalities. I'm going to put it that way, talking to personalities. Prince, what's going on, buddy?
That was an interesting introduction. I'll take it, but I need to let people know that I officially retired trolling. It's been since we came back to Twitter. Yeah, you missed that announcement. I no longer troll, man. I'm trying to do something different, and but so many people you could be blocked by. So True.
I mean, I think I'm blocked by people because I'm friends with you.
Yes,
people I've never had interactions with. Which is just
a lot of collateral damage. I see it all the time. People are like, man, why am I blocked? And I want to say so bad it's because you follow me, but somebody always lets them know before I can even say anything. So,
well, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm okay with it because what's great about this show is I get to talk to real Eagles fans about their experiences. So why don't we do that? Why don't we start talking about some Eagles love of the game here? Now, you said you did not want to know the questions that were going to be asked of you. So here we go. This is coming straight off the lid here. Your first Eagles memory is what?
That's a good one.
See, I could have prepared you.
It's so many, though, but I can give you, okay, one memory was, if this was a painful one, was me and my dad, we will always watch Eagles games together. And the last one we watched was 2003, the last game at the Link in the NFC Championship game. And you saw it. We were so excited when Staley ran it in. We was like, this is our year, And then you just saw our emotions just all the way up until Barber running it back with the pick six. We were just rushed. So that's one memory. That's the one memory I say that always sticks with me because I really thought that was the year.
And it's so tough because so much of, and we've talked to a bunch of different guests now. We've had these conversations. So much of our conversations are around these painful, hurtful memories. And your very first memory of an Eagles fan was of just this painful, heartbreaking moment.
That was the first time I felt, well, you know how it is. The hurt always stays longer. Probably some people may have said Super Bowl, but to me, it was that one because that was the first time that I was like, man, the Eagles really let me down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even the Panthers game when our wide receivers got bullied because I knew that our wide receivers weren't good.
Right.
It just, everything was set up that it was like Tampa Bay never won in the cold. We beat them earlier that year. They were like 27. They were 0-27 and 20 degree below weather, whatever it was. Rocky was doing his thing at the top that I was like, oh, God.
One time.
That stuck with me. And then for them to go ahead and win it, and me have to look at Gruden's Chucky face and see his legend, quote unquote legend, grow. It just sucked, man. It sucked.
It was, and that was terrible. So let's get nostalgic then. What is the very first thing you remember as an Eagles fan?
The very first thing I remember as an Eagles fan is the game, the Donovan McNabb a broken ankle game.
Okay. I was at that game. No, that was the T.O. broken ankle game I was at.
That broken ankle game, that's when I just looked at McNabb. That's when I became a McNabb defender of the McNabb on the field. Like, you could not – he reached that status at Allen Iverson where you couldn't tell me nothing about the man. Like, I was like 80%. He was like 23 for 26 on a broken ankle, 3 touchdowns. Like, what are y'all complaining about? Like, he's tough. Like, what are y'all complaining about? So that's the first memory I always think about when I was like, okay, this is my guy. Even up to now, like, yeah, he's a little hokey and corny, but he's still the best quarterback in franchise history.
Agreed, hands down. And it's funny that people, still kind of debate that. And, Jaworski was good, and, Carson Wentz could have been great, and Nick Foles won the Super. If you're looking statistically, yes, he never won the title, but Donovan McNabb is statistically, leadership-wise, length of the best quarterback in Eagles history.
Facts. Now, the most memorable and legendary is Nick Foles.
Agreed.
I mean, that's it. The most athletic and the most gifted is Randall.
Okay, now wait. Let's just chat about that for a second. Is it Randall or is it Vic who emulated Randall?
It's still Randall. You know why? Because to me, Randall could have been an all-pro punter, all-pro punt returner, all-pro. He was an all-pro run. He could have been an all-pro running back, tight end, wide. He could do it all. And I just think he was a better passer than Michael Vick, even without having the offensive coordinator or the offensive people to home his game. Like, just getting out of bed, he was naturally a better passer. Now, the better arm was Michael Vick. Like, out his sleep, he just a flick of the wrist and the ball is 60 yards. But I was watching highlights of Vic today, and I went, man, that guy could throw. Imagine if he just – and think about it. Him and Vic's career mirrored each other, because I remember when – far as like not the off field, but on the field, I remember where they said they would put money in the playbook, in Randall's playbook, and he wouldn't bring them the money back. And they did the same thing to Vic. They would put money in his playbook, and they'll be like, "Hey, did you look at the playbook?" Yeah, I looked at the playbook. Then you would have found $100 bill that we put in the playbook. And to me, it just both of them speak to what ifs. Vic more off the field, and Randall more on the field. He was just the injury stuff. So athletically gifted and naturally gifted that I just wonder if back then they officially Buddy Ryan didn't just say worry about offense, I'll worry about defense. How good Randall would have been here. For sure. It's definitely an interesting conversation. I know we're on our network starting to do this like what if show. Like, we can even do a conversation of, what if Randall never got hurt and kind of had to move his career elsewhere? Like, there's a lot that goes with it. A lot of what ifs in Eagles lore. Absolutely. So now we did worst. We did first. I'm taking away the Super Bowl as an option unless you have a great memory and a different story about it. But what is your favorite Eagles memory? Okay, we're taking the Super Bowl out of because that's everybody. That's everybody's. My favorite memory. Oh God, he's laughing. Oh God, I can't wait. Here we go. My favorite memory is the same person I can't absolutely stand when I see him anywhere, and I just tweeted about him the other night. Okay, 4th and 26. That's my favorite memory because You talking about a probability of 0.102567891011% completing that down in that distance. And before that even happened, we needed to get the ball back. And God bless Brett Favre for throwing a punt return Hail Mary to Brian Dawkins to get us in a position. And then think about it. All the stuff they talked about how McNabb was inaccurate, under pressure, like he was worm burners. That thing was on the money. And then we had to have a defensive coordinator stupid enough to play sticks defense before it was sticks defense to allow Freddie Mitchell a free release. All those things had to happen, and they did, for a town where everything that could go wrong does go wrong. But in that night, against a historic franchise, Green Bay Packers with the golden boy, with the golden arm, the golden smile, Mr. NFL, got beat by the new school swagger, run around, scramble, hop over people, shimmy. He got beat by that guy. That was my best memory. That's when I believed that the Eagles, it was prime time. Like, we can do this. Like, we can be Sports Center highlight. And I just remember everything about that play. I wanted to watch it. Every time, every station, I just wanted to keep watching.
And that's, to me, like, one thing that's been really cool about doing this show is hearing people talk about these moments. And because we're all Eagles fans, and like you mentioned, usually it's something that has to go wrong. It's very, very rarely when there's like 5 things that have to go right that even 2 or 3 of them happen. I know there was the one season where we had to have like a loss in order for us, the game that we were playing in, to even matter. And those things happened and it lined up perfectly. And 4th and 26, you say the words 4th and 26 to any real Eagles fan, and even some of the fake Eagles fans, and they have a story, they have a memory, it is very clear to them, and you just spoke passionately about it because it stands out to you as one of the greatest plays in Eagles history.
Without a doubt. I remember where I was at. It was me and my dad watching that game, and we were sitting there like, another damn year. Here we go. I can't believe this, blah, 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 blah. And when he made that, I just remember me and my dad just yelling and just like, you got to be kidding me. It was just a beautiful thing. It still is. I still get goosebumps, even though I can't stand the guy that caught it. Like, I still like, that man has made a living off of that catch.
That's a whole brand. It's his whole brand. 4th and 26, Fred X. You know, the People's Championship belt before it was Aaron Rodgers.
I can't stand that he stole that, and he's so cocky about it.
Yeah.
Knowing that he stole it from somebody.
Yeah.
He whitewashed the People's Champ. Like,
yeah.
Yo.
It's are you surprised?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, I mean, and that play, again, we're talking about great things happening. And you, like you said, Donovan McNabb always got the knock on being inaccurate, choking under the pressure. That is the greatest throw he ever had to his entire career.
Now, I'm going to be a nerd.
Do it.
There was a throw that was better than that, and it was kind of innocuous, but I don't know if you remember this, but they were playing the Panthers.
Okay.
And it was like 4th and 13. And McNabb threw one like between 2 defenders on the sideline to Jason Avant. It's so.
I do kind of remember because there was a point where it didn't matter what you threw to Jason Avant, he would catch it.
Yeah.
So that's where it's kind of like it all blended in. Like he threw it to Jason Avant, got it. Okay, yeah, it was caught. Yeah, it was catch.
If Jason Avant had any speed, he would have been dangerous. But he built a great career. Just catching everything that came to him, and now he's mentoring these wide receivers. And I love his insight on the game. He doesn't hold back. He's not.
Oh my God,
buddy. But he's trying to let these guys know, there's a right way to play the game. And I love it. Shout out to Jason Avant, man. But yeah.
Big shout out. Big shout out. All right, so let's tell you what. We're getting to a point in this conversation where we're starting to mention a lot of these names. And we found some that you don't like. We found some that you do like. But I need to know, who is your favorite all-time Philadelphia Eagle and why?
Oh, it's D-Nab.
Okay, let's go.
D-Nab. I have his Pro Bowl jersey that I purchased while in Korea when I was serving in the Army. And that's where I saw us lose that's when we lost to the Patriots the first time. I bought the Pro Bowl jersey over there, and I wore it while we watched the game. And Don McNabb he's always going to be my favorite Eagle of all time, because I just love the way he made it fun to be the quarterback. Because remember back in the day, you know how it was, and it had a certain component to it. But if you're a black quarterback, you can either run fast, you can't throw, you can't pick up the offense, can't be smart. Donovan was in one of the most complex of the West Coast offense. Andy Reid, his schemes are notorious complex. Now he has the ability to simplify them.
Sure.
But they're notoriously complex, and I just love the way McNabb played the quarterback position. Was he maddening sometimes? Absolutely. But for 10 years, 10 long, hard, solid years, we had arguably a top 5 quarterback in the league, and has never seen that since.
Right. And it's so interesting, because even, we have this conversation about Andy Reid as well, where, we had it really good for those 10 years. We had it really, really good, where you had a Hall of Fame level coach. Did we have a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Me personally,
here we go.
He is.
Okay.
I think he is, but I think what hurts him is those last 3 years with Minnesota and Washington, and that ring hurts. But there's plenty of very good that's in the Hall of Fame that's not better than Don McNabb, in my opinion. But you know how it is. The Hall of Fame, it has this weird. Every sports Hall of Fame has this weird criteria that people try to say that it is, but then you can point to a person that doesn't fit the criteria, and then they trying to say, well,
they walk it back. They walk it back immediately, right?
There you go.
So, and yes, he went to Minnesota and played at the level he did. He went to Washington and played at the level he did. I mean, those were not fantastic teams that he was joining. The Eagles team that he was on, and he put up those numbers. I think, for me, the thing holding him back is the Super Bowl ring. Had he gotten one, it would be a no-brainer. Like, let's call it like it is. Matt Stafford is a Hall of Fame quarterback now by those standards.
Yeah.
By those standards.
And let's be honest, a lot of it, too, is the clown show around why he didn't get that ring. The throwing up, the T.O. calling out his name, the DUIs, stuff. All that stuff adds up when I'm telling you, these writers and these media people, they are so self-righteous. Not all of them, but a good number of them are so self-righteous to where they can drink and booze and cheat on their wife and do all this nonsense. But then they want to look down on some of these athletes who had a level of pressure that they couldn't even imagine.
Right.
Saying that they could get in the Hall of Fame or not.
It's tough. And, I know on my show we discuss this. I'm sure on your show we discuss it, on all these times when these ballots come out and, who should be, who shouldn't be. Loyalty-wise, I put McNabb in the Hall of Fame. I think nationally he's not going to make it because he doesn't have that Super Bowl title.
And I agree.
Let me ask you, though, because we had a couple guests on that said they're big fans of LaShawn McCoy. Different criteria. Is LaShawn McCoy an NFL Hall of Famer?
To me, honestly, Chip, it was a time, and it may be silly, but when you ask somebody a Hall of Famer, there should be no pause.
True.
There should be no pause. Is Lawrence Taylor a Hall of Famer? Yes.
Yes.
Is LaDainian Thomas a Hall of Famer? Yes.
Yes.
Marshall Faulk a Hall of Famer? Yes. Is Joe Montana a Hall of Famer? Yes. Is Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer?
Now.
See? You see what I'm saying? Like, it should be no pause. Is T.O. a Hall of Famer? Yes.
Yeah.
Is Carter a Hall of Famer? Yes. Randy Moss? Yes. Is Calvin Johnson? Yes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It should be.
You're a bigger fan of not having the participation trophy Hall of Famers.
Correct.
You want it more along the definition of, is the player that we're talking about a game changer? Can you write the story of the NFL without this player?
Is it a transcend? Like, now, in Eagles history, we can't write Eagles history without talking about McNabb. But nationally, if we're talking about the NFL, we can go around McNabb. We could go blah, 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 Mahomes. And they'll be like, wait a minute, what about the people prior to Mahomes? Who?
It was the Brady years.
That's what I'm saying. It's the Brady years. Everybody else get in where they fit in. Russ.
Yeah.
Big Ben. Dilfer. Everybody else can just get in where you fit in. Manning.
Flacco.
Like, Manning's another case of the name, but you beat the GOAT twice.
Yeah.
You beat the GOAT twice.
Yeah.
He's in there.
Longevity. He spent his whole career with the Giants. I mean, I hate to say it.
He was a gamer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He was milquetoast, but he was a gamer.
All right, so wait, I gotta change the question here a little bit then, because I love talking with you because I feel the same passion in my Eagles fandom. So what is it about the Philadelphia Eagles that makes them the best team and fan base in football?
What makes the Philadelphia Eagles the best team is that they're DNA based.
Okay.
Like, if you're an Eagles fan, it's in your DNA. Example, I was in Jersey Mike's today. Guy had a Eagles hoodie, short sleeve hoodie. I said, "Go Birds." He looked up at his phone. He said, "Go Birds." And then we just started talking about the Birds while he was waiting for his sandwich. It's in your DNA. It's just Philadelphia sports as a whole, and especially the Eagles. It's a culture. The reason why we're so, and it's going to tie into why Eagles fans are the best, because it's not just the Eagles lost, tough. No, it sticks with you from Sunday all the way until the next game. Don't let it be the last game of the season. Immediately, you're looking at when's the free agency date, who's available, draft, blah, 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 blah. You're trying to consume everything Eagles. How many podcasts is that Eagles? So many you can't count. But you know what? We listen to them all. We appreciate them all. You know, and that's just what it is about being a Philadelphia Eagles fan in the team. It's DNA. It's embedded in us. Like, you never hear anybody say, "Oh, well, I'm an Eagles and a blank fan." No. We don't have two teams here. You're an Eagles fan, you're an Eagles fan. Even when people go somewhere else, you never hear, "Well, I'm an Eagles fan and I'm a Bears fan because Nick Foles is there." No. We be like, "Nick, love you, appreciate you. Up yours, Nick. You're not an Eagle anymore." That's just how we are. But guess what? Once he's out of that uniform, we're like, "Hey, Nick, we love you." And what we love about real Philadelphia athletes like a Nick Foles, they don't take it personal. They be like, "I understand. You can't be a part of the enemy, and then, you know, I get it." But we also take care of our own. And I love how when we embrace an athlete, we embrace an athlete. And I don't care what National says. I don't care what other JOs try to say about us. But ask Tyrese Maxey how's it feel to have 30,000 shout his name. Ask Brian Dawkins how it feels to have people dressing up as Wolverine and crying when they see him. That's what Philadelphia is. it's a culture. It's a lifestyle. Our sports is a lifestyle. It's a culture to us. It's not like Heat fans who show up at the end of the third quarter. When have you ever seen a Wells Fargo Center game and fans don't show up until the third quarter? Or the Link? No. So that's what being an Eagles fan and the Eagles is to Philadelphia. That's what it feels like being a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
The part that I love about being an Eagles fan, that's the part I love about doing this show, where we get to hear these stories, we get to talk about these things, and we do have them in common. I think that the in the DNA thing is a really good analogy because my kids, they had no choice. They are Eagles fans.
DNA.
They're Eagles fans. That's it. And I know it's the same with your kid. You saw the pictures of it all. That's just I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw one more question at you. What is the coolest thing that you've ever experienced being an Eagles fan? Whether that's out in the street, whether that's out somewhere, what's the coolest thing that's ever happened to you because you're an Eagles fan?
Of course, I'm here in Charlotte. So whenever the Panthers play the Eagles, I always go to the game. My brother, he's a Panthers fan. One of the pictures showed me holding up the belt with him as we was at the game. And each game we go to at each other stadium, we lose. So the best memory was when we played the Panthers in Philadelphia. We were up that 14-0, and then they came back and beat us. And watching, like, it was a couple knuckleheads who tried to get on my brother, but I was like, nah, not here. Like, no, this ain't what you want. Like, leave my brother alone. So then we watched them here, and we came back on them, and we won. But the coolest thing is, wherever the Eagles play, the fans take over. You don't understand how it feels when I go to a Falcons game, when I go to a Panthers game. All the tailgates, all the fans, we're drowning out the people, the very people in the stadium that were there, and it's just that's what being an Eagles fan is. Like, we're showing up and we're showing out. We're letting you know that you're not gonna bully our people, and you're not gonna bully our fans. And when we get together, it's like an energy like no other, and it takes over. And it gets to the point where the other fans are so mad because they're like, yo, how did this happen? I'm like, I tell you how it happens, because we're real fans. That's how it happened. But that's the coolest thing ever, is watching Eagles fans take over a stadium.
Yeah, we tend to travel pretty well. So, well, let me tell you, this has been the 4th episode of Fandemonium. We have been joined today by Real Prince Blue. My man, I appreciate you. I thank you for joining us and telling us your stories. And the only way you can end a show like this is with what's in our DNA. Go Birds.
Go Birds.